to celebrate the amazing Terry Fox, and 44 years since Terry dipped his leg into the Atlantic Ocean. We're celebrating today with the most amazing volunteers in the world, and they're known as Terry Fox Run Organizers. And we're going to have a quick greeting to some of our guests from coast to coast to coast and off coast. But we're going to just start really quickly, you guys, with a tiny little celebration of last year. We always like to do a little video to remind us of the remarkable efforts that everybody made. And we want to thank our wonderful Liam for his contribution to this. So I'm just going to share my screen and we're going to watch the video. And I think I have my music going because that's always one of our issues here. Here we go. I'm going to play it on. There we go. Oh, you see you guys? Oh, here we go. So you can also see that the wonderful Liam has brought a level of funk to the Terry Fox Foundation, which we maybe didn't have before. Thank you, Liam, for that amazing video. And we wanted to just, we never honestly take the time to really remind ourselves of how incredible our year was that passed, because we're always looking forward, kind of like when Terry was looking forward to every signpost and every telephone pole. That's how our Terry Foxers are too. But this is a huge opportunity to say thank you. I do want to also acknowledge, I'm going to turn off my screen here because I wanted to, you can see the agenda there. I wanted to just acknowledge not only the run organizers from Canada on this call, but we have some amazing activity going on around the world, and we have some super duper early or late visitors to our call today. I want to welcome, we've got our run organizers here from Silicon Valley and Santa Monica in California. Welcome to you guys. Chandler, Arizona, London, England, New Zealand. Shout out to our New Zealand RO, where it's 5 o'clock in New Zealand AM right now. Madrid, Spain, Belfast, Northern Ireland, and also in Southampton, England. So it is incredible to have such an amazing group. And I think from that video, it shows exactly the kind of spirit that every one of you guys bring to the Terry Fox Foundation. And I didn't even introduce myself. I was so excited to see everybody. I'm sorry. Martha McClue. I help manage the school and community programs here at the Terry Fox Foundation. So I get the pleasure of being able to welcome and thank you everybody today. Before I throw it to our most amazing Fred Fox, I just also wanted to share with you that we, as an organization in Canada, received the #1 placing in what they call the peer-to-peer fundraising model in Canada. So we were the most successful peer-to-peer, meaning sponsorship event fundraising event in Canada. And that is a massive, I can't even say what a massive accomplishment that is. Incredible competition, but it's you guys who set us apart. So thank you and congratulations to you on that. Okay, I'm going to throw it over to the wonderful Fred Fox. He is everything we could ever hope for in someone who leads and mentors and represents Terry across Canada and around the world. So Fred, welcome to our call today.
Thank you, Martha. I am muted. Thank you, and thanks for everybody being. I'm just kind of going through the different pages. I've got, I don't know what everybody else does, but I have four pages of Terry Fox supporters, whether it's from on the West Coast here in BC or right across Canada. Neil, I saw your note in the chat. So great to see Neil, who organizes the Terry Fox Run in London, and I'm looking forward to being there in the fall. But thank you to everybody that I've met. I'm about to head out on another spring tour tomorrow night, leaving for Corner Brook tomorrow night and arriving Monday morning. So, some of you I probably won't be seeing, but I see so many familiar faces, Vern and Zara and Vernon, PA, and Zara and Regina and everybody else. So many of you I've made friendships with over the years. So it's great to have you on board here. Not going to take too much time, I hope. Not if everybody recognizes that it is 44 years ago tomorrow that Terry and Doug left for Newfoundland. And so April 7th, 1980, they left for Newfoundland. And I'm going to quickly read, I've done this before, but I was looking at it again today, and it's so important because here I'm flying to Newfoundland tomorrow, and it's going to take me, not all that long to get there, but it took Terry and Doug 2 days to get to Newfoundland 44 years ago. And Terry writes in his journal on April 7th, he goes, we got up at 6:30 a.m. I washed and got cleaned up, and Doug and Mr. and Mrs. Allward, as well as Fred and Teresa, came over around 7 a.m. We arrived at the airport, and as we left to go through the gate, it was a very emotional moment. I shook everybody's hand and said goodbye. That included Daryl and Fred, and I hugged Judy, who was crying, and Dad, and last of all, Mom, who was bawling. It made me drip a few tears as well. In fact, it was very hard to leave. We were right at the front of a PWA 737, and we were both startled when Giselle Portier from BCTV, Global TV today, stepped on the plane to do an interview. Terry and Doug's journey that day took them to Winnipeg, but before they got to Winnipeg, they stopped in Penticton, Cranbrook, and then Calgary before they arrived in Winnipeg, and they stayed with an uncle of ours, one of my dad's brothers in Winnipeg. And then the next day they left, they flew to Ottawa, then Montreal, Charlottetown, and then Halifax before they eventually arrived in St. John. So not only did Terry do a marathon a day during his Marathon of Hope in 1980, but it seemed like he was doing a marathon of air travel as well. 2023 was so successful, and it was amazing to see the video there and all of your efforts. So we thank you so very much. Without those of you that organized Terry Fox runs across the country, it just wouldn't happen. The Dear Terry campaign was amazing, and I'm hoping maybe today I can put the Dear Terry campaign, good night, night, to rest. It's amazing, and the timing is perfect. And I'm going to read a couple of, maybe more than a couple of Dear Terry letters. I'm in the process right now of cleaning out a storage unit that we have here for the Terry Fox Foundation. And I happened to pick up find a binder, and I opened it up, and it's dated September 10th, 1980, and it's from Innisfil Central Public School, which isn't very far from Barrie, Ontario. And the letter is written by the teacher of the grade 8 class at Innisfil Central Public School. And many of the students have written, here we are back in September 1980, they've written Dear Terry messages. Mm-hmm. And if I can, I want to read a few of those. Dear Terry Fox, I've heard a lot about you on TV and the newspaper and radios, and I really feel proud of you trying to help the way you did. It took a whole lot of determination and willpower to try to do the wonderful things that you did. Someday when you get better, I would like to try to complete the run. I hope you get a chance to try to complete the run, and I'll pray for you every step of the way. Let me just find a couple of others here. Dear Terry, I admire your stamina and hope you complete your strenuous feat. I wish I could help you through your run, but I can't run long distances, or I would run alongside of you. I don't have $6.5 million to give you, and I would. Please always remember, I'm with you in spirit. The reason I have so much interest in you is because I know you're helping many cancer patients, but I wish you were here a year ago, and maybe, just maybe, your money could have helped my older brother who suffered from lung cancer. He reminded me of you and how determined you are to run, but for him, it was to survive. Let me just find one more that I highlighted and we'll move on here. Dear Terry, I'm very sorry about your tragic misfortune on the road. A person like you should not have to go through pain you were going through. If I could meet you, it would be a great privilege to meet a man like you. I hope that everything goes well in the hospital. From my opinion, and most of all Canadians, we hope that you get better very soon. So these are, Dear Terry messages going back to 1980, and what a great campaign it was last year in 2023. So I'll just finish if I can. And I like to read Terry's messages. Terry has a lot more to say than I do even today, 44 years later. And I'm just going to read Terry's journal entry from 1980 on April 12th. Terry wrote, he wrote every day in his Marathon of Hope, of course. So this is his first entry. April 12th, 1980, St. John's, Newfoundland. Today is the day it all begins. I had a good sleep last night. We got up at 7 a.m. and I did 35 push-ups and 60 sit-ups. Bill Strong and I went to Loggy Bay to get some Atlantic Ocean water. One of our bottles got drawn out back to sea when we were chased back to land by an oversized wave. Bill got soaked. We got to Water Street in St. John's, where we were to start around 12:30 p.m. I touched the ocean before I left up this old dirt road that was impossible to run, and that's Temperance Street in St. John's, and it's straight uphill. But Terry wouldn't have wanted that kind of start to his Marathon of Hope. He wouldn't have wanted it to be any different. So again, thank you everybody for joining us to celebrate April 12th. It's in my mind it's the most important day of Terry's Marathon of Hope. And Terry did say, even if I don't finish, we need others to continue. It's got to keep going without me, and you guys are those people who keep Terry's dream going every single year. So thank you so much for joining us and for doing what you do.
Oh, thank you, Freddie. There is no better place to start and or be in the middle than Terry Fox. And to you for your incredible representation of your brother and the foundation. Thank you, and good luck on your trip. We work Fred very hard. All of you guys who've had the pleasure of having Fred Fox knows that he will do anything and be anywhere, and that is the luckiest thing for us. So thank you so much, Freddie. I'm delighted to introduce our executive director, Michael Mazza. Michael has been a tremendous boy in our boat over the last 3 years that he's joined the foundation, and I'm delighted that he's here today to also be able to speak and thank you guys, because he knows you're the heart of the Terry Fox Foundation. Shh, don't tell the school department I said that. Okay. Michael Mazza, nice to welcome you.
Hi. Thank you, Martha. Welcome to 2024 run season. And yes, the run organizers have and always will be the heart of what we do. Unfortunately, this week I was reminded as to why we have to do what we do. And, you know, I was at a friend's father's funeral who passed away from cancer. And, you know, it makes me think, and, you know, why do I do what I do? And, you know, last year we had 239,000 Canadians were diagnosed with cancer, and almost 87,000 Canadians passed away from cancer. So it is a significant health threat. And you know, I go back to Terry, right, in 1980, and even when you think about the title, right, it's a marathon of hope, and it's about hope. And it's the fact that he understood that research was key, and that he knew that if we invested in research, that we could improve outcomes. And we have, you know, survivor rates are now pushing up over 65%. And, you know, for many cancers, we're now seeing survivor rates up over 80 and 90%. And, you know, in our pediatric cancers, we're seeing, you know, 5-year survivor rates of 85%. And, you know, that's exciting, but it's not enough, right? And so we need to dig deeper, work harder, raise more. But, you know, as I look out at the field of science, you know, I'm really feeling optimistic. We're on the cusp of something special. You know, cancer is a disease of the genome, and our understanding of genomes and genomic science is improving so quickly. And artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to advance those discoveries and those innovations. And, you know, I believe that we can still get to that place of a world without cancer that Terry started us with. And for me, what's the most exciting is the Terry Fox and Terry Fox Research Institute have now brought together 35 universities and hospitals across this country, and we're working together to improve outcomes and increase discoveries and diagnostics and better treatments. But they need more money, and so it comes back to us. So last year was an incredible year. You grew by 10%, and as Martha said, you're number one. So what a great place to start. And so we dig deep, we raise more, and we push towards the goal he set us upon. So I thank you for the role that you play in that. Know that your hard work will benefit somebody else, and that's exactly what Terry taught us to do. So thank you all for everything you do. With that, I would like to introduce the Minister of WOW, Denise Diaz, and let her show us what's up.
That is my official title. Thank you, Michael. I am so happy to be here with you guys today and to walk you through our campaign for this year. I think you're gonna like it. I've been kind of, you know, ever since last year, kind of nervous about like, how do we follow up Dear Terry? How are we gonna beat Dear Terry? And this is how. So this year's campaign concept, as you will have seen already based on the shirt and what we've done on social media and with our PR campaign out in the news, we're taking a page from Terry's book, and we're inspiring everyone to make a difference in the fight against cancer, no matter what. So this is a really simple idea, an idea that's immediately understood, an idea that has Terry at the heart of it, and his, you know, incredible perseverance, his unwavering determination, the stuff that just makes us love Terry even today, 44 years later. That's what we're really that's the spark for this idea. And that's what we're really inspiring people about. So no matter what, Terry was out there doing what he believed in, pushing through all the challenges he went through, the incredible odds that he faced, because it was important to him to make a difference. It was important to him to reach his goals. It was important to him to kind of do what he wanted to do and you know, realize his dream, no matter what. And so that's what we're kind of inspiring others to do this year, is to really look to Terry to be inspired by that mindset and that attitude to really achieve our goals of doing what we would like to do, no matter the day, no matter the odds, no matter the challenges, no matter what. So again, this concept is like, it's really, I think it really resonates with people from every walk of life throughout the country, because everyone is struggling with something, whether that's cancer, whether that's just something in their lives. And so this campaign has a really kind of inspirational, positive note to it as well, that no matter what, you can be a part of something special. You can make a difference in the world. You can make a difference in your community. You can be there for your family and your loved ones, no matter what. So just like Dear Terry, we're going to be really collecting those stories, collecting those inspiring kind of moments and notes and stories from people about what it is that they're doing to, you know, realize Terry's dream of a world without cancer, no matter what it is that they're doing to support cancer research, no matter what it is that they're doing to make the world a better place and give back to their community, no matter what. So the campaign look and feel, this is just a mood board that you guys can see stems from the shirt. So we have, we're using great, you know, iconic full body imagery of Terry pushing through the words no matter what. So you can kind of see him physically kind of pushing through those really bold words. And then how that'll translate on social media and print ads and out-of-home campaign. You can kind of see, get a sense for how the campaign will look. The communications plan started back in February. And so we had a really successful shirt launch exactly 1 month ago today. And I'll take you through a little bit about that. And right now we're in the lead up to April 12th, of course, and the kickoff, and then we'll be moving into the sustain phase to make sure that we really continue that momentum, that excitement, and that engagement all the way throughout the summer leading up to the run in September. So here you can see just some key dates. Again, as Fred said, April 12th is possibly the most important, one of the most important dates of the year for us. So really excited for next Friday and all of the wonderful things that we have planned that I'll show you. So the t-shirt launch, as I mentioned, we launched March 6th. And I'm sure all of you have seen and read about this and seen it on social media by now, but really exciting past few weeks. The first few days after the launch with Ryan Reynolds, we saw a huge groundswell of excitement again. We saw a lot of enthusiasm and engagement on social media, and a great kickoff with a great few days. So in the center there, if you don't know, is Sean Levy, who's the director of Deadpool and who's also a Canadian. So Ryan involved him in the shirt campaign as well, which was great to see. And then those first few days after the launch, Ryan really graciously kind of posted many stories and is still kind of engaging and pushing stories. He just shared the contest that we have going on right now as well, which is doing really well. And here you can kind of just see the effect that we get with Ryan's reach and you know, interest. So that big spike that you see on March the 6th across all of our social platforms represents the launch day with Ryan. So we always love to kind of see those graphs, and it's my team gets very excited when those numbers shoot up like that, because it means that we're reaching more people. It means that we're growing our audiences. It means that more and more people are learning about Terry and being inspired by Terry and wanting to support the cause. Stats at a glance. So far, we've raised about $800,000 since the shirt campaign launched, hoping to get very close to or hit 1 million by April 12th. We've sold over 25,000 shirts. About half of those shirt purchasers are brand new to the foundation, which is great because it means that we're attracting brand new supporters, people that are brand new to us, which now we have the job of really inspiring them to give and continuing a relationship with the foundation. We saw great media coverage so far, over 360 million media impressions, about 400 media stories. And these are not all just national hits. These are really like hits across the country. So we have hits in community papers, hits in local news stations, and then as well as the big kind of national outlets with national reach right across the country. Our social following has grown almost to 5,000 new followers in the last month, which is great. And we have over 40,000 social influencers confirmed to participate in the campaign. And you'll see we're posting and sharing their content daily, and that'll continue for the next few weeks. So here you can see kind of who's participated so far. We have Catherine Reitman, Jan Arden, Sarah McLaughlin, Lainey Liu, Catherine O'Hara, the Arkells, Jillian Harris, who's a big social influencer based in BC. Coach, I forget this kid's name now. Martha, help me. Coach Cal, Coach Liam. Liam, are you here? Anyway, cute kid.
Yeah.
Very cute kid who supports us.
Yeah, he's adorable.
I know. I want to say Coach Cal, but that's not right. Or maybe it is. Jesse Cruikshank, Rachel McAdams, Hugh Jackman, a couple of other influencers named Brianny and Josh Traeger, who's a musician, Maddie Matheson, who's like a celebrity chef, and then a few other influencers, and Rick Mercer, who's wonderful. So all of this, like, you know, wave of celeb support and wave of social influencers, like, it's important because they have the reach, they have the audience and the followings that we can reach. But we all know that the big stars, the true stars in the campaign, are you guys and the volunteers, the run organizers, the team captains, the cancer survivors, the researchers. Those are the people that we are really interested in profiling and getting stories from. And we will be doing that. And we will be building a big, robust calendar of diverse stories right across Canada. So we can't wait to see you guys in your shirts sharing content and tagging us. And if you have amazing stories of volunteers in your run, you know, volunteers, participants, supporters, Terry's team members, cancer survivors, or cancer patients, like, please let us know, because my team is always looking for those amazing stories to share. And we always welcome hearing from you for those stories. This is just quickly what the out of home campaign will look like. This will be launching again across Canada and communities across Canada in July, closer to the run. Kind of the look and feel of what the campaign will be. This is a cool new idea that we want to do in certain markets where there are high traffic stairs. And areas like that, where we have the words, the kind of the phrases on the back of the shirt appear on stairs. So right now we're looking into where some of those stairs might be that, again, are high traffic areas that can get a lot of attention and excitement. And then this is another idea that we're exploring and talking to a few out of home suppliers about. We really love the idea of doing a digital billboard for the 143 hours leading up to the run. So that would be the week leading up, or the 6 days leading up to the run. And each hour would kind of represent a day that Terry ran. And it would be digital, so it would be moving day and night and weather. Again, we think this could be like a really great, interesting activation. And so we're looking to see how we can kind of make that happen in some markets. And then the print ads are still being finalized right now, but they will appear, the first print ads that will appear on April 12th will be running in the Toronto Star and the Globe and Mail. And that's the look at this year's campaign. Another really exciting piece of news is that also on April 12th, for the first time ever, we will have a matching gift opportunity. So we'll be announcing this with a mass email and in the press release for April 12th, and a mass email that will go out to our donor base. But all general donations and peer-to-peer fundraising will be matched up to $100,000 by Farmer Choice Canada. So it's an incredible opportunity to register early and kickstart your fundraising with a matching gift opportunity. So we expect that to generate a lot of interest and buzz and excitement, especially with our really competitive fundraisers. So look out for that, because we'll be sharing more details on that in the next few days.
Oh, Well, I'm a massive fan of Denise. Like, I just can't say enough. I call her like our magic queen. Michael called her, I'm sorry, the minister of
Wow.
wow. Yeah, thank you. And I think you guys would agree. Like, it's just it's not just a campaign to promote the runs and the foundation, but it is a meaningful, passionate, impassioned call to action for all of us. So that is what we want for Terry and what Canadians expect. So huge kudos, Denise, to you and your team. Like, it's just going to be an exciting, exciting year. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm delighted. The other part of obviously today, and Denise mentioned it so eloquently, is this is about you guys. You are the heart and soul of the Terry Fox Foundation, and we felt like today was a really perfect way to acknowledge a few, or a couple of organizers in this case who we think represent our team. If we could have every single one of you speak, we would. But in this case, I'm going to introduce my colleague Lacey from Nova Scotia, who's going to introduce one of her run organizers, who's just going to share a little bit about how she came to the foundation and why it matters to her, no matter what. Lacey, take it away.
Thank you, Martha. Yeah, I wanted to, of course, I'd love to highlight every single one of my run organizers and all of you. I did pick one. Her name is Jennifer C. Lawrence, and she is from a little town called Bridgetown, which has a population of 970 people. I just double checked that. It's about 2 hours. I'm terrible with directions, like northwest of Halifax, something like that. And she took over last year for a family friend of hers, Bliss, who was a longtime run organizer for us. And Bliss wanted to retire because she was getting a little older, and Jennifer stepped up to help out, which was lovely. We love it when run organizers retire and then recruit someone else to take over for them. So that was wonderful. She was super nervous, but she asked all the right questions. She attended all the calls. She, did the best possible job that she could do, which was amazing. And she managed to raise the most ever for that community run.
Hey, how are you, young feller?
Oh,
good to see you. What's going on?
Oh, sorry.
We have welcome to the call, young fella.
Hello, Jonathan.
If you can mute, that would be amazing. We might
searching
have
frantically for Jonathan.
So back in 2005, for the 25th anniversary, Bridgetown managed to raise $3,195. And then last year, Jennifer raised the most ever, which was $5,226. So I wanted to highlight her today and say thank you so much for everything. And I'm so happy that she's coming back, and she can take it away and tell you what her plans are to make it even bigger and better this year. Thanks, Jennifer.
All right. Thank you, Lacey. I have to say it's my pleasure certainly to be a part of this organization, and I really enjoyed doing the run last year. So I only had 15 participants. So 15 participants raised over $5,000. So my goal for this year, of course, is to try to promote more, advertise more, and set up some more challenges. I found there are a lot of challenges within that little group. People challenging each other, people taking on personal challenges to raise the funds. So it was a lot of fun. It was a really fun day. So I just want to try to make it bigger and better. And so yeah, starting out with 15, I really hoped, there's just going to be hundreds of people coming out to run. And but my 15 were great, and we had one lady who just came to support, and she just sat on the sidelines and cheered everybody on. So she was fun to have there too. So yeah, so I'm just really hoping that this year I can make it bigger and better. Of course, I want to surpass. I think last year, Lacey, wasn't my goal around. I think I was hoping to raise 2,500 or something like that.
I can't remember, but if that's what it was, you doubled it.
Yeah, I went fairly low, thinking this is my first year out, so I'll keep it reasonable. So raising over 5,000 now, I'd like to raise more than that. So and my goal is to stay on for quite a few years and hopefully continue to make it bigger and better every year. So yeah, so I think anything else that you want me to say? That's pretty well covered it. Okay. Excellent. Thank
Jennifer,
you.
listen, you are phenomenal. And what's happened is now you've opened the door to like doubling your numbers and tripling your numbers. it's going to be easy. And also, we are all going to obviously support you. That's a great, because the new organizers bring this incredible energy. The veteran organizers bring this amazing knowledge, and it's such a beautiful interaction of ideas
Yeah.
and passion and energy. So thank you and congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very
Spectacular.
much.
So
Thanks.
incredibly proud.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Lacey, for doing that beautiful intro as well. I am lucky enough to introduce our next run organizer. And she, in this case, happens to also be Terry's team member, which, for those of you who are new to the call, are cancer survivors. And so Sarah McIver joined us as the Saskatoon Terry Fox run organizer. And she's been on the committee for about 20 years, I think it was. But she has been an inspiration beyond her work on the Terry Fox Run Committee, including even doing the trek last summer. And I got to tell you, Sarah, I can't actually tell you how much I admire you. Kim and I, my colleague in Ontario, were thinking of doing the trek next year, and I'm absolutely beyond terrified. So Sarah, if you could join us, our wonderful colleague Carissa is in a car on a cell phone right now, so she didn't want to introduce you. But I don't want to steal your thunder. So if you could share a little bit about how you came to the foundation and your cancer journey as well, because it's a very special one. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, as I was kindly introduced, my name is Sarah and I'm from the prairies. So I'm from Saskatchewan, in Saskatoon specifically. And I look at this, crew of people that I can see in front of me. And I think that the common thread, no matter what we come from, what story we bring to the table, whether it's our story, a family member's story, Terry's story, or the combination of all of them, I think we are all human connectors. And I think that the entire journey and the original sort of thought process for Terry was around human connection. I don't know if he fully appreciated that right in the beginning, but I think he generally and genuinely said to himself, I don't want to see other people have to go through this the way that I have had to. And if I can make one tiny little bit of difference for one human, then my work will have made an impact. So I carry that with me because at the age of 19, so if you kind of do a little bit of paralleling and think about when Terry was diagnosed, at the age of 19, I was diagnosed with metastatic osteogenic sarcoma in my right leg. I like to tell the piece of the story that I was 1 year old when Terry set out on this run. So, I mean, it's not a new story. You probably have met those of us with limb loss or limb differences, specifically from a sarcoma. But yeah, I mean, who would have thought that fast forward that many years later, and I was offered a surgery called limb salvage surgery. So at 19, on March 31st, so not that long ago, of 1999, I had my first limb salvage surgery, which replaced my tibia, my knee, and half of my femur with a titanium prosthesis. It's all on the inside of my leg. However, if you were to x-ray it, it really does look like the inner parts of what Terry's leg looked like. And then if you fast forward again, at age 33, I had a second limb salvage surgery, which saw me have a second knee replacement and then a full femur. So if I were to experience an amputation now, I would not have a stump. It would be too high. And then something that not even Carissa knows yet, as I'm going to be actually having another surgery that I just found out about at the end of May to do some fine tuning. So thankfully, I hiked that Terry Fox Mountain in August because
Amazing.
I want to highlight, and then I'm going to kind of move that into the run organizer piece. Terry inspires me because there was a carpe diem to his world. I'm not Terry, but I do like to believe that there's pieces of me that laid in the hospital beds and have had you know, different challenges, including a long-term physical challenge. And I feel like there's a piece of me that has come to understand him in a way that is very personal. And so the privilege for me to have met his mom and his dad, both his brothers. I haven't met Judy. She's on my bucket list. And then I met Fred's daughter, Terry's niece, this summer when I was out there doing the trek. And it's a connection that I can't describe, because you know what? These are real people, real family members, just doing their best to represent their brother, who, I mean, just inspired a nation. And how do you do that every day? You know, how do you bring that to the table every day? And this campaign this year and the campaign last year and every year that I've been involved. So I think that the take home message is just, you know, Terry's team members, which is something that I take very, take to heart. You know, I represent myself as a cancer survivor. And I do that in a way that tries to kind of bring some sort of inspiration. I mean, everybody's story is inspiring, but our goals as run organizers and Terry's team members is to try and really sort of find that vibe with people. And just like we're doing today, you know, someone saw something in me 20 years ago and believed in me, and you know, just kept asking me, like, come back for the next meeting, and hey, you know, you'd be really great at the children's area this year, or have you thought about maybe doing a little bit of PR? And it was just through sort of generating and watching and listening. There's a gentleman who, he may or may not remember me, but he's from Prince Albert. His name is Vern. I know Fred highlighted him, and I know he's been a run organizer in PA forever, from Saskatchewan. And you know, even though he doesn't know it, I through my growing up years, you know, felt inspired. Like, this was a dad of a friend of mine who I knew back in my younger years. So you don't really know who's watching and who's listening and who's paying attention. And that's all I've had to do along my journey is, you know, pay attention and listen to those around you. There's so many amazing human beings in front of us right now who have something to offer and something to say. So I was asked to highlight a little bit about the Terry's team members. So I'm going to focus on that for a minute. For those of you who haven't kind of incorporated them into your runs, you know, we've struggled along the way because it's a very, very vulnerable place to be. It's a vulnerable place to be to share your story. It's vulnerable to be in front of people. So it's not, you know, I want to make sure you know it doesn't have to be about standing up in front of the entire run that particular day and telling a story. It can be shared in different ways. You know, we've highlighted people on our socials, like we have a more localized experience, and we've done it that way. Even as simple as having someone come to one of our meetings just as an inspiration. It took a lot of courage for that person to come, and it was a small venue. It was just in my living room, actually. I hosted the meeting, but it was meaningful. And you know what it did is it encouraged her in a very maybe sort of more protective way to open up a little, and she brought her whole family to the run. And she didn't want to get up, and she didn't want to kind of be highlighted in the front of everyone, but it brought, you know, 20 other people out. So to me, that's a value that I believe Terry really, really understood as he did his journey. You know, the person that ran out from the sideways and said, can I run a block with you? You know, that wasn't the person necessarily giving all the media attention, but he knew that that mattered. You know, he knew that that made a difference. So I think that there's ways to incorporate our survivors. If you do find somebody who is willing to, you know, do the media thing, maybe do an interview for your local platforms. I mean, hang on to those people, because I can tell you, like, right now, that's been something that's been hard to do in our area. I'm trying to kind of find some succession planning in that realm, because it takes a bit of a different type of person to want to do that. So if you find those people, reach out to the foundation. Carissa in our provincial area has been incredible with disseminating all of the national information so that you don't feel uncomfortable, right? There's stuff you can use to talk about the research piece. There's pieces you can use to talk about the facts of Terry's story. So you don't have to feel alone, and you can feel very empowered by the way the national teams have organized themselves and disseminated that provincially, and then that gets disseminated locally. So lastly, one of the ways that I have found, the Terry's team member local kind of flavor to be successful is I reach out to the provincial office to start, and I get sort of the list of names that have come through from the year previous and typically the years previous. So I put together a BCC email because you want to make sure you're not maybe exposing everybody to everyone. So BCC just means that they can't see who's been carbon copied on the emails. And I send an email out in advance to the run locally, just welcoming people and really highlighting what I just said. You come and I hope you've ordered your Terry's team member shirt, which is the red shirts. And this is how you do it. And I provide them a link. And, please feel free to come to the run. We'd love, come and find me, come and find my colleagues. And we'd love to walk you through the run sites if you're new, or introduce you to someone if you're comfortable. So I just give them a lot of options. I have found have been quite successful in that they become more comfortable. And what we've done this past year is we had them line the walkway, if you will, and we have a bagpipe sort of send off for the run, and off they go. Hopefully you can still hear me there. And they go through the Terry's team members and they stand like this. And then the other way we've done it is we've had them actually walk the entire crew of us out as they lead the way under the flags. So there's different ways to do it, different ways to incorporate it. People like to feel like a team. That is kind of the whole concept. So, do your best, come up with some ideas, share them amongst all of us. We can bounce stuff off of each other over the course of these next few meetings that come together. And hopefully we can honor, just like our previous speakers talked about, grow our numbers, not just on our run site with, the human bodies that come, but also our survivors. And lastly, hope you can see behind me. I'm just going to quickly highlight this from the track. Fred, you're going to like this. Okay, do you see that painting behind me?
Yes.
So I'm going to try and do this because I'm not as fancy as everybody else. Bear with me. Okay, let's see if I can bring this up. Do you see this photo?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's a real photo. You get up the Terry Fox Mountain to a certain point, and then you can look down here, and there's a valley. That's kind of down at the very start of the trek. And this is not quite halfway up. And Fred, you're going to have to find this for me next time on the trek this year. So I received this from my partner, who I brought along, who is not a mountain hiker. And he had this painted for me for Christmas. And it just brings tears to my eyes because it wouldn't have been a specific view that you would maybe pick, right? It's not the mountain, it's not the summit. But you know what it is? It was a point where I thought to myself, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And we were told all the way through that trek, check in with yourself, check in with yourself. So I leave you with this no matter what. Yes, you need to be safe if you're going on the trek. You need to understand that there are risks. It's intense. It takes some grit. You need to be ready for it. But you also have to have passion and desire and to be able to kind of get to a point like this and go, I think I can do this. You know what? I can do this. I can do it physically, I can do it mentally, and I can do it with my spirit, because I'm telling you, Terry is with you all the way through that. And it was epic. I loved every minute of it. I actually intended to go back, and I found out I had to have this surgery. So I'm sad that I can't, and I'm asking for you to carry me with you as you go up the hike this year. And thank you for the time today and for allowing me to speak. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, there's Fred. Thank you for everything, for not just your work as the amazing Terry Fox Run organizer in Saskatoon, but for your inspiration and your motivation and reminding us. When we created the agenda, we had you're speaking under no matter the odds. So you are incredible inspiration. And Kim is texting me saying, oh no, we're going to have to get this done next year. So Sarah, we'll be contacting you for some tips as we trek up that mountain. But thank you so much. And thank you for sharing all of these amazing ideas. And it's such a great way for us to start this year with an emphasis particularly on the people that matter the most for the work that we're doing, which is our incredible Terry's team members. Well, I couldn't imagine a better way to end the meeting. Just phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. We do always like to end with a little sweetener. We know no one comes on this call for a little goodie, but in this case, we're going to offer a little goodie. We actually have a pull-up banner that we're going to raffle off today on the call, just a random call. Let me just share my screen so you guys can see what it looks like. Where's my screen? There we go. Well, you're probably going to see the truck. I pulled up the truck there. So here's what the banners look like. There's an English and a French one because we know bonjour mes amis au Québec. We may have some Francophone run organizers on the call today too. Okay, so what we're going to do, as Fred said, there's 4 screens, and Freddie, so you pick between 1 and 4, and then you pick a number. I think there's 25 per screen, perhaps. And then Kim will just randomly see who that is on her screen. Because, of course, as you guys know on Zoom, everybody's screen, it's like the Brady Bunch on steroids. So everybody's different. So, Fred, if you will give us 1 to 4.
Do you want to stop sharing your screen, Martha?
It's perfect. It's perfect that you're sharing the screen, actually.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Now, well, only because I couldn't see the pages. So now, but anyway, I'm not lucky. So I'm going to say, I like my even numbers, so I'm going to go page 2, and my favorite number is 12. So.
All right, Kim Smith, you want to check for who is 212?
Okay, hold on. I gotta get everybody on screen. I only have
it's maybe unshare Martha just for a second so she can see everyone. Yeah, there we go.
Screen 2.
Close your chat. Yeah.
I love this.
Okay, it's John from Squamish, BC.
John, congratulations, John. Nice. John, can you make use of that banner, or would you like to give that up for nothing? Oh, he's there. Okay, I think John's nodding. He's not on my screen 212, unfortunately. Okay, so you guys.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Sorry. Yes, we can absolutely use it. Thank you all so much. My video's not on because but it's a Saturday. Anyways, we can definitely use it, and I will share all the photos of us actively engaging. So,
that's amazing. Thank you, John. Okay, and just to end off the call, I'm going to share my screen one more time. So this is what Denise was talking about, sharing your stories with us. So we've heard about what the campaign is like. Now we've heard from Jennifer and Sarah, so many no matter what's out there. This is just a little reminder. We're going to be emailing this out next week as well. Again, not just for you guys, but for any of your amazing participants, your teams, Terry's team members. If you could share them with your provincial, your community director, and then they will share them with our marketing team. So that's really, I can't thank you enough. What an incredible group, what an incredible meeting. There is something about Terry Foxers that just bring joy to every single day. So thank you for that. Thank you to the newbies that have joined us. We hope this is a great way for you guys to start to get to know us as an organization. And thank you to the experienced run organizers for being the most remarkable representatives for the Terry Fox Foundation. We just could not literally do it without you, and you make us so proud every day. So thank you, team. The call's ended. If anyone wants to stay on to chat with some of their familiar faces, please do so. But if not, we'll be back in touch with the next time we're able to have a call and come together, not just as a country, but as a world entity. So amazing. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Everyone.
Happy April 12th. Goodbye, friends.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.